I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. The signal seems to be appalling in this part of the hospital. Though I gather that people are getting the internet in the bays. So sorry if this hasn't worked to this point. So I will have missed your questions that you've raised before. But what I will do just now is walk you through into our induction and labour bay. We're fortunate to have two midwives with us today because Denise is new to our team. So I will introduce you to Denise. I know you've already seen Di. So this is Denise working very busy. Hold on till I turn it round. Oh, come on. Technology, you've got to... Denise, there you go.
Hi.
So this is the office that the midwives will catch up with their paperwork on in the induction of labour suite. And then this is just showing you into the induction of labour room. I won't show you anybody that's being induced just now, though you might hear the sound of baby in the background. But there, we've got 4 bedded bays, we've got nice bright windows. And as you can see, we have some birthing balls and things about to enable you to be upright and mobile. We have screens for modesty. The red clip means don't go in. And then the bathroom for the induction of labour bay is just here, which is just across from the office. So when people are mobilising around the ward, when we've started your induction of labour, there is a sitting room around here, which is quite a nice area to chill out. There is obviously a television as well. I hope that it works, but you can see that there is an area that you can move to. So I suppose, is there any questions about the induction of labour and stuff that we've talked about? I'm just working my way up the corridor now. So this is level 6, which is the antenatal ward, a hub of activity, and at the top we will meet Di, and you've met Di before, so there you go, there's Di again. So Di is obviously here and waiting for you with Denise, and then I'm going to let you meet Shan. This is Shan, she's one of our induction of labour midwives too. You going to give us a wave? There you go. See, she loves it so much. So that's generally a walk around the induction of labour bay. So I think the 2 main things from this morning are that, or to share with you today, is our really exciting news about our change to our induction pathway to enable some women to have outpatient induction of labour. So we will talk to you about it, we will explain it all to you as it happens, and generally make sure that you have the information to make the right choice for you. So Vicky, you've asked, do you know? Vicky, we do induce you earlier than 42 weeks if you have gestational diabetes and you're either diet controlled or on metformin. So we offer induction of labour generally around 41 weeks. So sometimes it's earlier than that, but not generally later. Go through it with you. So hopefully you can still hear me. It keeps saying that signal goes in and out. Vicky, you've asked, are partners still not allowed in until established labour? Yes, that's correct, Vicky. When women are on the induction of labour suite with us, it is just women with no other partners, and then at the point that either you go up to the spires to birth your baby or go to delivery suite, that's the point that your partners come in and join you. So I anticipate that there's going to be a lot of questions about the induction pathway because it's changing, and I would encourage you again to phone the Ask the Midwife phone line, which again is available 11 AM until 7 PM, so that they can answer any questions that you have. They're really experienced community midwives, and they're happy to help support you via telephone. So Varsha, you've asked, are partners still not allowed in for scans? Varsha, I'm afraid not. We are adopting the advice from the Department of Health, and so it is just women that are allowed in for the scans. So Aya, you're confused about getting a birth certificate at the moment. The website's saying that none are being issued, but when you called your helpline today, you were told that they're giving them, just not in hospitals. How do you get a birth certificate? You don't live in the UK and need to travel with your baby and need the certificate to give to the embassies. So I think it's really important that we can phone and get you the right advice for that. The community midwives tend to be better about that. That we haven't been able to open our birth registry in the hospital. Maybe that is something that will change over time. But when you have a priority like that, then it is important for us to help you. So do contact your community midwife if you're unsure. Yvonne, you're asking, how can you tell the difference between wee and slow leaking fluid? So Yvonne, the best test is a sniff test if you want to have a smell, because urine smells very different from amniotic fluid or from a show. Amniotic fluid is more of a sweeter smell, but generally that helps to differentiate what's going on. Your pad or your underwear can get a little bit more damp as pregnancy goes on, and because the discharge that you have is quite wet, it can make people think that their waters have gone, when actually it's just that the discharge is a bit heavier and wetter. So, you know, it is a difficult one, but if you are unsure, please do call your community midwife or phone the maternity assessment unit. Charlotte, you've said with scans, are the partners allowed in the waiting room or just not a no-go all around? Charlotte, unfortunately they have to wait outside. People are generally waiting in cars or with the transport, however they got in, but we can't let people into the building. So we're screening people at the door. You come in, you buzz for the scan, and then somebody will signpost you on where to go. So I think that's most of your sort of questions, I think, around induction of labour. I'm sorry, my tablet clearly wasn't working very well today, but hopefully we've answered your questions. So we will share our patient information leaflet as soon as we can in terms of induction, so that you know what's happening from that point of view. Anybody that's due to be induced today, please don't worry, we will talk it through with you. And ensure that you're happy with the plans that we're making with you. And the Ask the Midwife number is available on the Maternity Voices Partnership website. So Katie, I think we'll fit in one more question. Are the 36-week scans cancelled still? No, Katie, we're trying desperately to continue with scans. As much as possible, because we have capacity. Obviously, it would depend if we have a problem with our ultrasonographers and being at risk of COVID and they are all sick, it may change. But we are trying at the minute to still continue with the 36-week scan. Emma, you've said that you've got a question for me. Would you like to pose your question? We'll just wait for Emma to pose her question. So I'm sorry today's been a bit hit and miss in terms of the signal that we've got. Let's answer Emma's question. Come on. So you've been getting a lot of pressure down below in the last few days and you're struggling to get in and out of bed. Emma, as baby, you know, depending on which position baby's lying in, it can feel that there's more pressure one way or the other. Sometimes women develop a problem with their pubic bone at the front of their pelvis. So the joint at the front of your pelvis can cause you to be uncomfortable. It can be difficult to move around and get in and out of bed. Talk to your community midwife about this. She'll have some suggestions about how to make that easier for you. So I think that's generally it in terms of today. I know it's a much shorter session than yesterday, but I'm hoping people will use the phone line much more, keep our midwives nice and busy answering your questions, and if you have any other questions, then talk to your community midwife. But we hope you're all staying safe out there, and I will get my technology working much better for next time. Take care.